So once the brackets are positioned correctly, whether they're positioned using the align to wire technique or the line to teeth technique, we go ahead and click the button and continue to prepare IBT. We are now going to draw a curve similar to the functionality to draw a surgical guide curve, if you're familiar with that, in order to define the IBT indirect bonding tray. We could hide the opposing arch just so we have better maneuverability, and click draw curve if it's not yet activated. Hold down the shift key and with our left mouse button just drag in order to draw the curve. The brackets are locked by default during this process to make sure they're not moved inadvertently. To rotate the model, we release the shift key and use our left mouse button to grab and to drag, and to continue drawing the curve, we hold down the shift key and use our left mouse button to continue drawing the curve. We want to create the curve such that the IBT goes through the middle of the brackets. We're going to continue drawing the curve, and we're going to return back to the start position. We can immediately go ahead and grab and drag any of the nodes to edit the curve placement. If we want to redraw the curve, just click clear curve and then it could be drawn again. On the lingual side, we could actually raise the curve higher. And once we finished confirming the curve placement, we could go ahead and click the maxilla button in order to create the IBT on the opposing arch. And then we could click continue to export. We discussed in a previous video the process of preparing the models for export by embossing, or actually engraving is preferred, engraving the text into the models, both for patient identification and to identify the models in the proper sequence. We also discussed how to go ahead and add a base for vertical printing, so we're not going to repeat that now. Just what is important regarding the IBT indirect bonding tray, that once you've designed it, when you're in the export step, you want to make sure you have the checkbox for export indirect bonding tray checked, and then click the export button. The software will then export both the models and the indirect bonding tray. You could also decide when you're doing the export if you want to export the model with brackets or without brackets. So you could select the relevant options, check with brackets if you want the models to have the brackets attached, the checkbox for export indirect bonding tray, and the software will go ahead and export all of the models, and of course it will export the indirect bonding tray as well based on the model in the initial positioning, which is model 0. And here's our exported IBT, and we could see how the brackets would be inserted, and the IBT together with the brackets will be placed in the patient's mouth for bracket fastening onto the teeth.